Hey, Andy here from builderhottub.com. In this video, we're going to catch up with Doug in Virginia and his DIY Infinity hot tub build. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so in the last video in this series, I introduced Doug's build over in Virginia, and he is building a DIY Infinity hot tub. This is what he's going to build, and when we left him, he basically had a hole in the ground with a little bit of rebar in. So in this video, we're going to catch up with the next phase of his project and see just how he's getting on. Now, before we do, always a great opportunity for me to say, please do subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon to be notified when my videos go live. I do 2 long form videos just like this every single week, a whole bunch of shorts, and everything on my channel focuses on DIY hot tubs, plunge pools, parts, and pretty much everything in between. The first thing that Doug needed to do after digging the hole is lay his rebar structure, and you can see behind me that he's done just that. He's got the horizontal rebar for the base, and he's also tied in the vertical rebar, which is going to be for his walls. And he's got walls for the internal tub as well as the walls for the balance tank on the Infinity Edge. So if you remember, for a Infinity Edge, you've basically got to have somewhere for the water to go. So when the water's displaced, it's actually stored in what we call a balance tank. Now this can be a separate tank, or it can be a deep trough at the front of the tub, and that's what we're doing with Doug's build. So when the water's displaced, it's caught in the balance tank and then it's returned to the tub when the bathers get out, and it just continues to cycle over. Now, depending on how you design the plumbing, you can turn off the Infinity Edge, and we've got that in Doug's build as well. So with the rebar all in place, the next stage for Doug, it kind of gets exciting now, is the concrete pour. And you've got to have your bottom drains and any plumbing that's going to be in the slab, obviously that's got to be in place before you pour. And you can see behind me here, this was a picture that Doug sent. He was just checking the overall height of where those drains should actually sit in the slab, and it's the finished level. It should always be right up to the lip so that when you put the cover on them, it's perfectly flat on the surface of that slab. So it was time to get some concrete ordered. What concrete should you be ordering? Well, you should be ordering 4,000 PSI. If you can get it, you can get waterproofing added to it. You can also get fibres added to it. Not all of them being the concrete suppliers, do that, but if you can, it is just a benefit. It doesn't cost a great deal more to have that added to your mix, but the main thing is that 4,000 PSI of strength. Now comes the back-breaking work. So Doug couldn't get this pumped in, so he was manually moving 15 yards of concrete from the front of his home. As you can see here, it arrives in the truck, and you've got to wheelbarrow that all the way around to the back to then start forming up that base. So it's very labour intensive, and it's always a good idea to have plenty of helpers on hand, because you're normally charged by the hour for that truck to be sat in your driveway. So if you're doing it one barrow at a time, it's going to take a huge amount of time. It's going to cost you a small fortune. So having as many of your friends to bring their barrows down and help out is always advantageous, and it just helps keep the cost down on that concrete. So Doug started with the base for the Infinity Edge or the balance tank, and then he moved on to pour the rest of the slab, and he's going to actually have a swim jet in there as well, so it's going to be a really cool setup when he's finished. So as of yesterday, when Doug sent me these pictures through, this is the current state of play. Beautifully poured slab there. Now he's got to let that cure, and the next stage is going to be pouring those walls. And you will have seen earlier on the video the picture where there was the truck. There was a whole bunch of forms there. He's got to get those in place, he's got to get them all braced up, and I'm sure in this next video you will see all of that process happening. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the updates that I put out on Doug's project, and of course any of the other projects that are ongoing at this time. Doug, thank you ever so much for those pictures, really useful. Great job so far, and I can't wait to share the next update on your build. As always, I appreciate the view. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.